Alrighty team, welcome. Hope you guys are enjoying the new intro to the show. But anyway guys, it is about time to get this show on the road, so without further ado, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Welcome to another edition of London Session. Just doing a little bit of a rebranding at the minute, so things are looking a little bit different. You don't have to adjust your sets or your phones or whatever, you are on the right stream. So yeah, just bear with me as I'm just shuffling things around. Hopefully you guys actually like the new look of the few different things, the intro, also the new logo as well. So a bit more to come. There's a new outro for the YouTube guys, so make sure for you guys stick around till the very end. And let's have a good one, team. So we are here to have a look at the charts, and that's what we will do. We'll do so shortly. In the meantime, you guys know the drill. If you could, please make sure to smash that like button, YouTube and TikTok. Don't forget, you've got to hit that screen for me. You've got to get the masses onto the stream. And let's have a good one, guys. I hope we've all had a good week. Been a quiet-ish week for me, to be honest. But in a tiny profit, but basically very quiet week. But all good. Charts have been a little bit choppy, obviously, with all the uncertainty about. Looks like gold is continuing to hold the ground above that 3,300. So we'll have a look at gold, we'll have a look at GJ, and any other pair as per request. Guys, any questions, do send those into the chat. Don't be shy, please say g'day. Let's get the chat pumping, and we will get to you guys shortly. In the meantime, let's quickly look at the news to see anything scheduled for our particular session here today. So not for the stream, but there is some high impact news to come, obviously, with the Bank of England speaking, Governor Bailey speaking once again. Also, we do have final GDP for and unemployment claims for the US dollar moving forward, half an hour into the NY session today. So just be wary of all that. Plus, obviously, any breaking news that could come out of well, anything at any time with all the motion around the world at the minute. But guys, let's get cracking and let's have a look at the gold. And starting in the weekly time frame, and what we can see is, once again, we're still forming pretty strong bearish. We have that lower high, lower low. So again, off the back of that, I would be favoring the sells. Still not quite tapped into the support at 32.88. So we're going to look to see what levels we've got within this candle, to see if price is going to respect those levels to potentially head back down, or if price was to begin to pop above those levels to potentially continue bullish and push to the upside. Onto the daily time frame, and what we can see is, so we did close back bullish after tapping into support. Mentioned yesterday, we are at a level on the high time frame picture where we could potentially bounce back up from. We are bullish in structure. Not only that, we do now have the counter probabilities also being to the upside. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark in the daily high. We're also going to mark in the daily low. We're going to see what we've got either side of the high and low. Now, if we were to continue bullish, we don't necessarily need to pull back and break our own low. If we do so, potentially we could make another push to the downside. And if we begin to break above our current daily candles high, the resistance formed at the level on the minor time frames, and we're likely going to make a deeper correction into the current weekly candle. Onto the 4 hour, and that previous candle respecting resistance, and we are, however, we have now got a high low, higher high to that previous candle on the current candle, which is closing in just over 5 minutes. So counter probabilities being to the upside. That again, if we begin to break above the current daily / previous 4 hour counters high, looks like we may have some pretty clean traffic to the left for some potential buy options above that point there. Structure wise, we are technically bearish though. So tapped into some previous support to the left and so far rejecting. Mark in that just now, and we'll mark in a level here on a 30 to the upside. The resistance at the current daily candles high. There it is, just there. All right, so for me on gold, 30-minute structure, is technically, is the high, low, it's technically bearish, way I see it. Yep, it's bullish here. Flip the structure upon this closure. With that is the highest point of the origin of the swing low. Not closed above it. We've rejected it. So therefore, we are technically bearish in a 30. All right, bit of a mixed bag here on gold today. However, using daily counter probabilities, what I'm likely going to be looking for in a minute, seeing we are smack bang in the middle of this range, is either a pullback to 33.30 and await price action catalyst from that point there, preferably on the 30, possibly in the 15. We do pop back down to that point, make a clean move down at this rate, then we could also look for a buy to take it back up towards the current daily candles high. So we would really like for it to now make a clear move down. The last thing we want for gold to do right now is just chop about, because if it does, it just does this. It just makes it an absolute mess, exactly the same as what it was yesterday on stream. And for me, in that case, it's not tradable. Need to avoid it. So that is the first option for the buy. Now the second option for the buy, if we begin to break above the resistance formed at the current daily candles high here, you can see we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left hand side as well. So if price was to pop above, we were to continue, well, if we were to pull back further and eventually flip the candle back bearish, break the current daily candles low, there is no need to pop above the current daily candles high. If we do close above, tap back in and reject, begin to pull away from that zone, there's a good chance we will continue to the upside here. So as far as the sell options, guys, now, so again, with the bias, technically, the way I see it, it's technically neutral at the minute. With the 30-minute structure being bearish as well, the minor time frame structure, the 15-minute you could argue is bullish though. But if we were to pop back up and respect the resistance here around the current daily candles high, then I would just look to trade the range and look for an opportunity to take a sell back down. So sells below the 30-minute / 15-minute resistance, and possibly below the current daily candles low. Yet again, if we were to continue bullish, then we don't have much of a need to pop back down and break the support formed at the current daily candles low. And if we do so, then we could potentially make a deeper pullback into the week, well, in line with the weekly candle to the downside. So off the back of that, something I would consider is the sells below as well. So that is basically it for the gold, guys. Anything in between at the minute is just nasty. We just need to wait. Not sure what happened on that candle. It's a bit of a whipsaw candle. Not sure if there was any news that was just breaking, which caused it to whipsaw about. Let's quickly have a look. No, nothing just recently. So, all right, that is gold, guys. So make of that what you will. But what you need to do for me, smash the like button, YouTube, TikTok. Don't forget to smash that screen as well. I need some more support on YouTube, guys. You guys need to say g'day, get the chat pumping. We need the masses to join the YouTube stream. And now let's take a look at the GJ. So once again, the weekly. So we have tapped into the target. Did I or did I not call that at the beginning of the week? Did say if we began to break the high, and there'd be a high probability at some point we could come up to 198.50, and that is the exact level we have tapped into just now. So off the back of that, we have tapped into a target. So it doesn't mean we can't continue to push through it, but we are at a strong level of resistance just now on GJ. So it's going to be difficult to look for the buys above. But what we could be doing is looking for potential buys upon the pullback, and also to see when or if we have a catalyst to potentially look for a sell from the current level, seeing we are at a high time frame resistance here. Daily, again, nice price action here on the daily. Structure wise, we are bullish, but it's hard to ignore the fact that we are at some major resistance here to the left. Onto the 4 hour as well, it's obvious we are at the resistance. Do we have any? Don't really have any margin whatsoever. No, looks like we've basically got no margin whatsoever above the current daily candles high. Let's just hone in on the resistance to the left hand side here. So we're going to mark that in. We'll change it to gray. It is a major zone. and we've basically tapped into it. All right, we've also formed support just below it, so that's a good thing. Seeing we are at resistance and higher time frame major resistance, one catalyst could be that if we were to pop below support formed at that level, we could make a deeper pullback. Targets would be obviously a support here, 197.20, that sort of region. But what have we got here on a 30? Have we got a catalyst to potentially give us an option to sell it? Or when will we have that catalyst to potentially have a higher probability option to take a sell? And looking at that particular time frame here, what we can see is that's the high. There's the origin of the swing. We flipped the structure bearish at this point here. We have since flipped it back bullish and pretty much tapped into that 4-hour resistance here. So for me on GJ today, very, very simple. Be waiting for it to pull back down towards 198.10, 198.05. Form support above that point there, and I'll be looking for a buy from support. Now, it may not necessarily pull all the way back to that level. We've got another minor level just above the 4-hour zone here at 198, 150. That would be okay if we did tap into that level, but I would prefer to see it actually pull back to one of those levels before looking for some potential buys. So that's likely what I'll be doing. I'll quickly look at a 15 though to see if we have any other ways of potentially getting involved prior to that pullback. And otherwise, guys, very simple. Await a price action catalyst, and that would be the 30-minute structure flipping bearish after rejecting the 4-hour resistance. And for me, that would be a highly probable option to take a sell off the back of that. So let's quickly look at a 15. Yeah, it's very choppy. We need it to pull back. So that's GJ. Very simple. Just wait for it to pull back. If it doesn't, I'm not going to likely have any chance to take a trade on it. I mean, the only other scenario I may consider is if we do tap into the 4-hour resistance yet again and reject, look for a potential sell off the back of that. Alrighty, guys, that is my pairs out of the way. YouTube, what is going on? Franco, Bartman, Kyle, you guys rock. Everyone else, wake up. Let's yeah, there we go. Gold Sniper, g'day to you guys. Don't forget, smash the like button for me. I need some help. YouTube is just, I don't know what to do with YouTube. It's to the point where I probably won't even stream on YouTube anymore. Yeah, I need you guys to help me out with it. TikTok, hope you guys doing well. Thank you to a few new followers. Let me have a look what I've missed from the chat. Not much, by the looks of it. Mark, more into you. Christos doesn't make sense. Fair enough. Rams, bullish. Okay. Quacks train, can we do NQ too? I can have a look at NQ, no problem. Alright, so looking at NASDAQ, the futures here. Let's start the weekly time frame, and we are forming a very strong bullish candle on the weekly time frame. NASDAQ at all-time highs. Obviously, NQ at all-time highs here, the futures contracts. So off the back of that, once again, what I'm likely going to be looking for is levels within the current weekly candle, more so on the 30, but also the 4-hour, that we could look for price to potentially pull back to form support back above, to look for options to buy it upon the pullback, or continuation buys above the high. It's into the unknown water territory above, to be honest. So people say, how can you buy it at the high? Just got to react to what you're seeing. If it continues bullish, just got to continue to buy it, I suppose, once you have the right confirmation to do so. Daily, little bit of exhaustion on that previous candle here yesterday. Closed with fairly long upper wick, suggesting maybe grabbing liquidity from the upside. So what I'd be doing is marking a current daily low. And let's just see what we've got if there is any sort of catalyst within price action or on obviously the minor time frames that may suggest if we begin to pop below daily low, we could make a deeper pullback. The 4-hour is also bullish. So the 4-hour, you got some support here at 22.40. Resistance would be marking the all-time high. Below the support, looks like there is some pretty clean price action to the left. And a 30-minute structure, the way I see it, I'd still be calling it bullish. So I'd be looking at pretty much the same way as what I'd look at GJ today. Be looking for buys, so long as really remain above this gray zone here, because we're still going to be technically bullish the way I see it on the minor time frames. You can look at it in the 15, and I'd just be looking for any of these levels. Basically, I'd be marking those levels, and I'd want price to pull back to this level potentially and form support above for an option to buy it above 22.47, or even lower down to the support here around 22.40. 446. If the price popped back down to that point to form support, I would also look for a buy. And if those two levels fail, I still don't see any clean areas to sell it. I'd rather wait and see how price reacts to 22.410 roughly to support the 4 hour lows, the 4 hour support, 4 hour zone, and I'd just be looking for buys above the high upon continuation as well. Again, we are on a big strong uptrend, so whilst it is in an uptrend, trend is your friend until the end. There's nothing yet to suggest the trend is about to flip. So for me, I'd be looking for the buys as well. Pretty much buys above any of these levels, and that is how I'd play it. If you wanted to look for a counter trend entry, I would preference price tapping back into the 4 hour resistance, and then maybe looking for an option if price creates support similar to what we've done just now, and then it's good chance it could make a bit of a deeper pullback. My concern would be right now, if it did begin to reject and pop below this support, that it could just pull back to create a slightly higher low and then flip back bullish, seeing it's not tapped into that resistance. However, if we did tap into the resistance and begin to pop back down to this support, like so, and start to pop below it, that's a different story. I'd start to trust that as a decent counter trend option here on NQ. So hopefully that made sense. And thank you for your question. Bjorn, good morning to you, mate. Bjorn, that's all good, mate. Not a problem. Gold trade next hour before London opens. Market will go sideways. Who knows? Maybe. It's been like that for pretty much all week. Quakes trade, I think it's going to range between the two levels for a while now. On NQ. Yeah, I've got a feeling it will as well. If that's what you're talking about. Maybe taking a little bit of a breather. Grabbing some more liquidity from the market. Alright, this is better on gold. So we're trying to make a clean move down to the support. That's what I want to see. All good, Quackers trading, not a problem. Gold Sniper, see your description, put hashtags. Yeah, that does stuff all. I've tried all that. It does stuff all. It's gone beyond hashtags now, the algorithm. It used to be, it's all about keywords. And I've tried to change things to include more keywords, but it just doesn't seem to help. I have no idea. No idea, man. It's a frustrating thing. Because I remember the days we had like, never had as much as what we've had on TikTok though. TikTok, it's been steady. I mean, 2 weeks ago we're up over 200 for a fair part for at least a week or so. Gold Sniper, yeah, man. I've looked all into all that. I've tried all of that, but nothing seems to help. Send a chart. Yeah, just copy. Open a new tab and then just copy the last. So where from the X basically, copy that across, send it into the chat, and I'll be able to check it out for you. If there's any SEO servers out there that don't charge like a wounded bull, because most of them do. Actually, no, forget that. I've got someone who can do that for me. Mihai, GU nice for longs right now, is it? It's looking very, very bullish. Not sure about right now though. Let me quickly look at GU. Popping above some resistance, but it's into that wick to the left, which is likely to be a daily level here. Is it clean count? No, it's literally at the resistance here on a daily. All right, so yeah, I mean, again, trading live the trend though, so doesn't mean I would not consider buys, but it's a bit tricky above the high. Daily, marking a daily low, see what's below. If there is a catalyst to potentially sell at the 4 hour, I don't know if I've got the data to go back that far, or just have. All right, so let's mark in these highs here on the 4 hour time frame. All right, so not a great deal above the high, not a great deal of margin, but it looks a bit. As far as support, we've got that level just there on sort of 30, so it's going to be bullish across the board. Your catalyst to sell will be a closure below this point here that will flip the structure bearish. So as long as we remain above it, I'd be looking for buys. It is in a big strong uptrend. So if price pop back down to 136.80, form support above that point there, it'd be a good opportunity to take a buy. And if it begins to break below it, close below it, what you're going to do is start to flip the structure at the daily resistance, flip the structure in the M30 back bearish, and then we're likely going to head back down towards the current daily candles low. So that would be the option for the sell, and that is what I've been looking at on GU. It's very, very bullish at the minute, so you've got to be careful trying to trade it against the trend. My members, let me send you guys a chart. Not a chart, sorry. Let me send you guys a link. I've already sent you guys some charts. I'll send you guys a link. There we go, link posted. Does anyone catch the new intro? We're going to send a pound Swiss chart. What a mess. Slow trickle up. It's definitely bearish on the 30-minute structure the way I see it. It's one of those ones where these slow trickles are often met by a big waterfall. So it is. Whoops, what's that? Hold on. Just gonna have to mute you, Andrew. Why can I not mute? What the hell is going on in Zoom? Why can I not? Anyway, thanks for muting yourself. It's difficult. There's no area to sell it because as soon as you break support, you're running straight into another support. There is no margin whatsoever below this support. Sell it to the next support by the looks of it. No, 6 pips. Jeez, that's ugly. Yeah, not sure what I'd be doing with that. Sadiq, buy or sell? Just chilling. GJ potentially flipping structure. Look at that. So whatever reason, GJ is melting. Maybe a bit of strength in the yen by the looks of things, with EJ also melting and the pound still remaining strong. So it looks like more of something to do with the yen. Me, I missed the sell. If you didn't plan for it, you didn't miss it. So for me, I didn't plan to take a sell there. So it's not a trade missed. I prefer to sell below this point here. But the issue is, it's come from the middle of nowhere. Stop loss is huge. So again, if it's within your plan and you don't execute, yes, you missed it. But if it wasn't your plan to take the sell there, you didn't miss a thing. DS, Nivek, evening to you. Thank you, mate. Hope you're well. Marco-san, I start for switching from futures. Okay. You should be right. It's basically the same thing. Just obviously the charts are slightly different. Futures, they use the one chart, which is a positive. But the time's different because the futures markets open at a different time to the spot markets. So obviously here we've got what time frame on? 30-minute. We've got 25 minutes left of the futures contract for this catalyst, and on a spot, we've got, you know, 15, 14, under 15 minutes now. So that's the only thing. So I had a question from one of my team yesterday. Can't you just look at the gold spot chart that we look at on stream, trading futures? And I said no, you can't, because it will look similar but not quite the same. See, look at it there, it's not the exact same, and the levels aren't the same, the closures are not the same. So you really need to concentrate, if you're trading futures, concentrate on the futures chart. As far as the fundamentals of the way I trade and the rules and all that, it should all be the same though. That shouldn't change, that should be fine. Mihai, I will wait to go near resistance but melting without me. Okay, fair enough. It is what it is. DS Nevek, all good. Lots of news coming up. There is a great deal of news. Once again, big week. I think in regards to the conflict overseas, well, there are many conflicts overseas at the minute. There's some that probably people aren't even aware of. There's one even in, you know, my second home. They've got a conflict at the moment with their neighbors, Thailand, Cambodia. That's another one. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse. But yeah, so in regards to Israel and Iran, I think they've, apart from breaking the ceasefire immediately, I think since it's been okay. So hence the risk on in the markets. We got the majors continuing bullish. You got the equities at all-time highs, a lot of it. Indices like NAS, S&P likely, I'm not sure, haven't checked it, not really interested in it. Oh, new intro is good. Yeah, I had a bit of an issue with the sound effects on it though. I didn't realize how loud it was coming through. I didn't even realize I could turn the sound effect for it off. There's more. There's wait to see the outro. That's cool as well. I've got another one as well, but I might swap and change a little bit. Marco and Costi 1, I think it is. Costi 1949. Thank you for the stickers. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Golf Sniper. Let me have a look at that. Let me have a look at your chart. Pound Swiss. Yeah, that's the only area from what I saw as well that looked decent. Yeah, for sure. Well, then again, got resistance here to the left. To be honest, the cleanest area in my opinion is until, is that the same level? 110, 646, I think it is. No, you've got a little bit lower down. Yeah, the way I go about it, what I would do in this situation, so you have got a bit of a mess to the left, I would let it create the move and then. But otherwise, pretty similar idea. All right, let's keep a little bit of an eye here on GJ. There is no margin to the downside, but we'll keep an eye on it anyway. See if we begin to pop back above, we have some sort of price action catalyst to potentially buy it moving forward. Very simple these days, sorry. Gold sniper. Oh, good, mate. Makes sense. Never looked that far to the left. Oh, good. Ola, am I looking for buys? Well, if we continue to pull back, yes, I'll be looking for the buys from support here on gold. The last thing I wanted to do is chop about like we did yesterday on stream. This on stream yesterday. I mean, this was the stream yesterday. That was after the stream. Finally made a bit of a move. But that was just ping-ponging between, I had 2 levels marked in. I had a level marked in here yesterday and one here. Yep, there. And it was just bouncing between the two with no quality entry whatsoever, in my opinion. So hopefully it doesn't do the same thing today. But if it does, again, it's my responsibility to recognize that and not, you know, give into FOMO or my emotions with wanting to find an entry and take a trade. Ren, EU. Mihai and GJ, if next M30 not closed below support, maybe in London Open we can look for buys to resistance. Yeah, potentially. EU looks similar to GU as far as catalyst to sell it. Hold on, let's go to 30. Yeah, it's the same level. So as long as we remain above it, we're bullish on the 30, so I wouldn't have any catalyst to sell it. Let's quickly do the top down on it. Obviously very strong bullish on a weekly. Wow, I didn't even realize the level it's at. So it's not been at these levels for quite some time, since 2021. Very strong bullish candle, so I'd be more focused on the buys. Sorry, to daily. All right, daily, let's mark in the daily low. And we do have, again, high, low, high, high. We do have momentum still to the upside, so if we were to continue bullish once again, I don't feel we necessarily need to pull back and break our own low and break the support form down at that level. We'll see what type of catalyst we may have at that level to maybe look for a deeper pullback on some sells. 4 hour, not sure if I'll be able to zoom out. I can't zoom out that far. All good. Bit of a tie us, guys. Don't want to pay for any subscription on TradingView because I don't use the indicators. There's no point for me to pay for it, nor do I use the replay function. So the 4 hour has tapped, obviously, or not sure if it's tapped in, but it has tapped in because we can tell by the daily, and it's formed a bearish candle leaving a long upper wick. We begin to break the low. Let's see if there is a catalyst below that point there for a potential sell option. Again, it's against the structure though. All right, so your catalyst is below the 4 hour low. Patiently await a 30-minute closure. We have just tapped pretty much into that support and rejecting it. Reason being is because we are bullish. So if we were to begin to break below, close below, we're going to flip the 30-minute structure bearish here. At that point, it's a much higher probability of price, or that price could make a deeper pullback. And therefore, off the back of that, I would look for sells. Sells below that point there. And seeing the weeklies in a big strong uptrend, irrespective of the 30-minute structure flipping back bearish, I would still look for the buys from lower down, 116.530. And I'd also look for sells below it, very clean to the left at that point. So that is simply how I would be playing EU moving forward. I would not look for buys above the high, because you're at a daily resistance, so you need at least a closure above 116.956, and then there's a good chance it could come up to retest the daily high. So preference that if you're to look for some buys from above the current level. Gold sniper, let me quickly check that chart for you. All right, hold on. Let me do that again. Not sure if I did it correctly. No. Gold, same shit I was doing yesterday. Lots of volatility, but no clear direction. It's just consolidating, printing barcodes at the minute. It's a bit tricky when it's like this, but all good. Ren, all good, not a problem. Claire, morning, the daily has a job to finish at the bottom, hence it won't break the high on gold. Yeah, okay, I don't necessarily know what you're talking about in regards to the daily has a job to finish to the downside. But if that's your plan, then all good. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. So that's the beauty of trading. There is no right or wrong. It's just whatever works for you. Ace, just gonna ping pong again. At the minute, that's what it looks like. It's gonna be frustrating, but there is not a thing you can do about it, to be honest. It's trash. It really is very ugly at the minute. It's definitely a number. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working though. Oh. And try it this way. Oh, it's the same thing. No. Dennis Castillo should buy. I don't see anything on gold. It looks like shit, to be honest. All right, GJ, for it to reset, this has to close in the next minute, just under 2 minutes, back below. If this closes back below, we're going to be closing below to 0.382. Then I can look to sell it as it breaks the low of this bullish weak pause candle on the M15. So that is something to keep a little bit of an eye on. But we have a minute and a bit to wait, just over a minute and a half. And it does not look that likely in a minute. But just in case, what is the low of the current bullish candle here on GJ? 197.970. Reason why I want it below that point there is because you'll confirm the structure flipping back bearish as well on the 30. So it doesn't look like it's going to happen. We are respecting structure here. Still closing a fairly strong bearish 30-minute candle, so I still don't have any catalyst to buy it as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to play out, so nothing on GJ as well. Thank you to the new followers, guys. Post it in Discord. All right, so gold. So you're looking for sales from a resistance? Yep. Okay. Very strong support broken and now resistance. Yeah, it's pretty much looking at the same thing by the looks of it. On gold. Yeah, very similar. Basically the same thing. Prefer to sell slower down due to the clean arrow. Yeah, I mean the sells look even better below 33.22, but that's a fair distance away. Gotcha, we will have to probably wait for NY for direction gold, same as yesterday. Yeah, I mean, potentially at the minute it looks like it could be the case, but it's still early, still not at session open yet, so wait and see. Trying to make a nice move up now, but again, it's in the middle of a really crappy area. GJ closed strong, bullish on the 15. Let's see how this 15 closes. If GJ is saying we are respecting some support, we are respecting structure on a 30-minute. This was the close week bearish. We don't yet have the confirmation of support forming again, but what we have done is retest the level where the structure would flip back bearish. We have respected that point. So if we create a minor resistance just above the support here, and potentially we could look for a buy as price begins to break above the weak pause candles high. So something to keep a little bit of an eye on here on GJ. Looking closer to an entry than gold. Not sure how I feel about that. I don't trade GJ that often anymore, to be honest, but it's all good. Herbert, what do you think about EU in the 30-minute? Yeah, I had a look at it just before. So for me, I'd be looking for buys. Preferably, I'd wait for a closure above 116.950. And it's a good chance we're going to come back up to retest the daily high. What I would also look at is sells below 116.670, because at that point there, you've got a confirmation of the structure flipping back bearish on the 30-minute time frame. And I'd also look for buys just lower down, seeing the weekly forming a very strong bullish candle. So it could just be pulling back within the weekly to a previous level of support to grab some more liquidity and head back up. And again, below that support at 116.500 roughly, there'd be a good chance for some sells below that point there. Clean traffic to the left. GJ melting again at the open of the new M15. So Lord, you trade gold? Yeah, I definitely do trade gold. Yeah, so you are buying, so nothing in a minute. If it pops up to the resistance and respect the resistance form at the daily high, I would look for a sell. If we pop above the resistance form daily high, got some clean traffic to the left, I will look for a buy. And if we pop back down to the support and we have a clean move prior to it from the upside, then I could potentially look for a buy, take it back up, and maybe sells below 33.29.30, so long as we've got the margin, which is going to be doubtful. Gold Snipe, I'm going to reach out to a YouTube and ask about this view. Oh, cheers, man. Appreciate it, mate, if you could. Yeah, I don't know. It was going well, you know, about a year or so, pretty much a year ago. It's just died, just dropped off. YouTube, people don't like me on YouTube for whatever reason. I'm not too sure. Do plan on producing a lot more content though. Said it a few times, but I really want to now. Started rebranding a little bit. I want to change the overlay for the stream as well. That will be done in time though. GGPM, not liking gold buys. Where are the gold buys? That's the thing. In amongst all this, where are the buys? Where is there a clean buy? I just don't see it. I don't see any level to buy it from unless it pops down, makes a clean move, and respects the support for a buy, or pops above the resistance. That's it. Anything else in a minute, it's just trash. It's right in the middle of the zone, the range. Currents in. Personally have sold GJ for the last range. Nice one. So Lord, thanks for the update. I just followed you. Can I copy your trades, please? Well, if I take a trade, it's up to you. If you like the reason for the trade and you agree with it, then up to you. The minute there is nothing to take, so I'm not calling it a trade until it presents. I am very strict and disciplined. I mean, for the most part, we tend to get a trade though on the stream. It's just sometimes it comes towards the end. Yesterday I was right at the end when I had to get going, so I had a meeting. Gold trader 33, 28, 29. Yeah, I think that level will be a pretty good level to look for some buys from. Zony, what time frame? Predominantly the 15. I will look at the 30. I will look at the hourly from time to time, and the 5. But usually the 15 and the 30 confirm my entries, using the 5 minute to add confluence as well. Currency, no, I don't trade it. Should I trade it? It is, I think, the major indice of the current session. I mean, I thought about adding the footsie, to be honest. But again, unless there's more footsie, it looks like shit. Forget the footsie. Look, maybe in the future I'll start to look at it more, but I'd be hesitant to begin trading it without actually testing it out a little bit, because obviously these indices move with a lot more volume for the most part. Obviously it comes with more risk, seeing it is a bigger asset class. Wow, look at GJ, shit. Let's see it at my MetaTrader. There's just no margin though to the downside, unfortunately. Still haven't confirmed a structure flip here on the 30 as well, so just need to wait for GJ. The Vec, how is the weather there tonight? Post yesterday. Oh mate, that was terrible yesterday. I mean, it's better today. It's not raining cats and dogs. Sun was out for a couple hours. Still chilly, but nowhere near as bad as yesterday. I think it was like 13 today or some shit. Winter, not a fan. Rose Blake, g'day to you. Welcome. How much sell or buy? Nothing at the minute. Moneta, hello to you. Gold, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. We're just consulting. No clear direction whatsoever here on gold, so just need to wait. Mini Poodle, what is your strategy? Analyze, confirm, trade. So what I do is I look at the charts on a few different time frames, and it gives me a preferred bias. I mark up my charts using the 4 hour. These are the gray zones, and the minor time frame zones are 30 and 15 in the blue zones. And I determine where I have some clean areas of traffic to get involved in some entries, and I also look to see what sort of range I have that I'm playing within. If I can look for buys from support, sells from resistance, and I just simply await a price action catalyst. So my bias here on gold today is neutral, and I'm just prepared to trade the range if it gives me an option. Otherwise, as price leaves the range, preferably to the upside because it's cleaner and it's not as much margin to the downside, then I could look for an opportunity based on that. GJ is overwhelmingly bullish, but it could flip bearish on the minor time frame soon. And if that is to be the case, then I might begin to look for sell options. But for me, the issue is you don't have the margin to that support. But what it could do is could just melt, and then if it pulls back, I can look for a retest and look for a catalyst within price action, take a sell back down to what will be the daily low. So many different ways of getting involved in a trade. I mean, right now, this would be a really good one. If this closed engulfing bearish, then I'd be looking for a potential sell in the following candle if I had the margin. But the fact of the matter is, there is no margin to the next support. So there's no point taking a trade for the sake of it if you don't have any room to take the trade. And I would be concerned by that level because price could easily tap in and bounce. The weekly is also in a very, very strong uptrend. It's forming a very strong bullish candle. So I'd be more than happy just to let it do its thing. As if it does bounce and form support at this level 197.80 roughly, I could look for buys from lower down because the bias is still bullish. Monitor best mini poodle. So if it goes, or min eye poodle, it's probably what you call yourself. So if it goes to blue, you look for sell, or gray to buy. No, it's not. It's just the 30 minutes and 15-minute zone, and these are the 4-hour levels. I mean, you could mark that in gray. There was a 4-hour wick high just there. You can see that's the 4-hour support, and it's the 30-minute resistance here. So I mean, in this case I would look for options to buy it from the gray level and options to sell it from the blue level, but also options to buy it above the blue level and possibly below the gray level sells. So there goes GJ. T, thank you for the rose. Very nice of you guys. Thank you for thank you. Sapphire, good day to you. One sec. Well, some ducks, more people need to click the like button. Just tell them they gotta pay for streams. Yeah. Jack, more into you. NQ. Yeah, have a look at it before, mate. Big strong uptrend. I'd be only considering buys. But actually, the good thing is now it's tapped into that 4-hour resistance. So that's what I said earlier in regards to any counter trend sells. I would prefer it to actually tap back in, reject. And you got a pretty clean level below this support here at 22,489.50 for a potential counter trend sell. If it does reject the all-time high yet again, the resistance formed at that level. Otherwise, I'd be looking for buys upon continuation above. Seeing it is, you know, into unknown territory. Close above, retest, that would be the entry. Otherwise, I'd just be looking for buys upon any pullback. If it does melt, you can't get involved in that sell. I'd just be looking for buys from any of these levels of support with that form within the current move back up to the resistance. Sapphire, GJ, any view? Yeah, I had a look at it already. So it's flipping the M30 structure, bearish potentially. But the bias is still bullish. The weekly forming a very strong bullish candle. So we're approaching another level of support. So I will mark that in just now. And I'll be looking to see how price reacts to that level. And look for options to buy it. And if, however, it bounces and pulls back up, I'd be looking for options to sell it. Because at least at that point, we'll be trading like the 30-minute structure. Otherwise, not a great deal we can do about it at the minute. For me, that was not a quality sell. So no entry for me. Ooh, got a little bit of an interruption play here though. All right, impulse, pause, engulfing, and it's engulfed significantly. You could look for a sell limit here on GJ at low of that bullish candle on the interruption play. It's actually valid. What is low of that bullish candle? Low is 197,970. Yeah, so you could have a valid interruption order here on GJ. But it can't flip again since it's got a low wick. So sell limits at 970 are currently valid on GJ. $970 is the lowest point in my brokerage chart. We've not tapped into the target, so had we tapped into the target, there'd be no entry. Now, what sort of margin is there though? Quickly, there's enough to secure at least TP1. It's about 18 pip stop. The issue with the interruption play, often it's very difficult to manage because you're getting triggered in the opposite direction to the move, to where you want it to move. Your stop loss is above the callus candle in this case. But that is the potential entry just now, guys. Arafin, all good. User, what amount do I trade with? I don't need to disclose that. To be honest, it's not a massive amount. I've mentioned it. It's enough to see some significant returns, but it's also enough to see some losses if I'm not careful with it. But it's not a huge amount. I'm not trading like 10 lots or something like that. TikTok. Faster care. Yeah, no, this is GJ actually. That's gold. GJ flips here, then there is no entry. It just is what it is. Not going to play out if that's the case. Yep. All right. Done. So I'm going to remove the order. But you can kind of see the reasoning behind it. It did almost pull back up to it, and it still could do so, but I'm just following my rules for it. I don't need to flip back bearish after creating a significant up wick, close to being tagged a couple pips away. So I've removed that order, just need to wait. Gold, let's see, we're picking up a little bit of momentum. Let's see if we can approach the highs here and see how price reacts to it. Rams, did you trade in gold? No trade yet on gold. Tony, thank you, appreciate it. Good luck to you too. Arafin, 10k funding, baby. Nice one. Just, yeah, man, chill with it though. Just too familiar. Too often you come on into the chat, mention how you funded, and then mention how you've blown it. So just take your time with it, mate. Yeah, so Sapphire, GJ potentially confirming a structure flip here on a 30, but off the back of the weekly, I'm still looking for now potential buys above 197.80. Gold Sniper, quite annoying, as you deserve more views. Not only that, you're the only person online not scamming people. It's just real trading done methodically. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, Can be very frustrating, but it is what it is. The old cliche, but it's true. Can't force people to watch on YouTube. One day there'll be more on the stream, but all good. Yeah, clicking like does help, but it actually does. That's one of the things that does trigger the algorithm. So there is 28 only on stream, 13 likes. There should be one like for concurrent viewer. So please, guys, please. It takes 2 seconds to hit that like button. TikTok is where it's at these days. NQ. Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't trade it this time of day, but if it does actually tick the box, then I can understand, but it's not. NQ's not, and NAS is. NAS is pumping. That's the chart from yesterday. It's not the same chart. So once again, mate, you gotta trade. If you're trading futures, focus on the NQ. Don't focus on NASDAQ. You're gonna get wrecked if that's the case. Fatsi, US30. It's another one I wouldn't touch this time of day. Doesn't mean it doesn't move. I just, whilst it's not in session, it would not be my focus. All right, so US30. Very strong bullish candle weekly. I'd be just looking for buyers likely. Really strong bullish candle. I'd rather trade like the trend unless there is a really strong catalyst to do otherwise. Daily bullish in structure, but what you do have is previous daily closing bearish, current daily approaching the high of the previous. For break it, good chance we're going to retest the weekly high and then continue to the upside. 4 hours also very bullish. We've formed some support. Also formed resistance. Is what this thing at? Yeah, okay. Bit of margin, not great deal. Hit to the left. Onto the 30 and 15 here. So yeah, sort of 30. All right, so it's a bit of a tricky area, to be honest. You're buying it into resistance, so it's going to be tough in that regard to look for continuation buys. It is bullish. Yeah, it's one of those ones. If you're not already in a buy, probably need to either let it pull back. Let's see what we've got above current weekly high. Yeah, it's relatively clean. I mean, very wiki. It's probably a mess on the 15. Don't data. Yeah, I'd probably look for the buys above that point. If you're approaching with volume. Otherwise, I'd just trade the range and look to sell it. If it did come up to the 4 hour resistance, I know it's against the structure, it's against the trend, but it is a level that price has tapped into multiple times and rejected. So I'd be looking for some support to form and looking for price to begin to pull away from that support. Otherwise, pullback buys all day long, and it's just a matter of which level. You've got multiple levels here price could potentially pull back to form support at yet again and take a buy back up. Gold tapping into resistance here. Let's have a look at GJ. Yeah, still struggling. I mean, if this closed weak bullish, had we at the margin, that'd be a nice strong sell catalyst on the falling candle. Again, we don't have the margin to sell it either way. 5 minutes. Let's see how gold closes, guys. XX Rawn War XX. Crazy what happened with AU Monday to now. It's just back and forward. It's nasty. It's 100 pip moves back and forward all week basically. Well, obviously to begin the week it really shut the bed. But look at it since. Still been the weaker, or probably the weakest of the majors. I mean, you look at that in comparison to especially EU. EU is a massive uptrend. Even GU, it's a lot stronger uptrend. Actually, GU is a really strong uptrend at the moment. So AU's been lagging for the most part because it's more of a risk-on currency. So it cops it big time when risk is off and when there's, you know, conflict and things like that. All right, so we'll see here on gold, starting to push a bit. Sapphire GJ going 187.60. There you go. So would have now just tapped in, but irrespective, it's invalid and it's way too close to London Open for it. 60. Yeah, there's support there potentially. Carl, you looking for pullbacks on GJ and EJ? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea, to be honest. H ByBit. Did war stop? I think their ceasefire, they've stuck to it since breaking it the first day both play. I think. I haven't really heard too much. Marco, thank you again for the stickers. What do I think of instant funding? Funded? No idea. Don't know what prop firm they are. Just be careful. Oh, in regards to, okay, sorry, in regards to being funded instantly. Again, it all comes down to the prop firm more than anything, if you trust them. They cost more, I think, and I don't think you get the same sort of profit split. I'm not sure. Maybe you do eventually. But again, you really need to look into all the rules behind them all. All right, let's see. Let's see if gold's going to pop up. We could maybe have a buy still here at session open. T, do I trade live every day? Yes, Monday to Friday. Marco, thank you once again for stickers. Do you have Discord for newbies? I've got a Discord. I've got a free version, but not much goes on in there. Not, you know, it's, to be honest, I try to get people to talk, but no one really talks in there. And I've got the VIP. So the VIP is where all the info is at, basically. The course, the whole lot. It's all there. Look at GJ reject now. So there you go. That's the strength of the interruption play. Something you learned on this stream. Uplift your limits. If you're profitable, why do you have a need to share? Why not? I enjoy streaming live. Been doing it for quite some time now. For the best part of 3 years, used to do it on a different, for a different education group. I enjoy streaming live. I enjoy showcasing, you know, talents, I suppose you can call it, on the charts, how I read the charts and how it works for me. Just under a minute, guys, but we are rejecting. Doesn't look like we're going to have it by option at session open here, but all good. Patience, patience, patience. Marco, sounds great, thank you. I'm just starting out. I'm struggling, but big time. And would VIP be good? Look, it just depends. You'll learn a lot from the streams in itself, to be honest. So maybe as a beginner, you might want to just chill on the stream for a bit. But look, VIP, I give my utmost to anyone who joins and anyone who seeks advice and feedback. I always encourage people in my group to ask questions, send in charts, ask me what I think of this and that. Question, you know, parts of the course. Why do I want it to do that in order to validate that entry or whatever, so on and so forth. So it's up to you guys once you're in the group to actually make use of it. Some do, some sit there quietly in the background. But for me, what worked was in my previous groups who I joined and paid to be a part of. It's a session open, by the way, guys. Nothing just yet on Gold. What worked for me was being active, asking questions, questioning everything. Even if something seemed stupid, seemed like a really stupid question, I'd still ask it. Because if you sit there hoping that someone else is going to ask it and it never gets asked, then you never have your query answered. And you might keep making a very simple mistake that could have easily been eradicated. So I always suggest to anyone, my guys know they can DM me any time of day. I reply with sometimes a video, record a video, or sometimes I'll jump on a live call with the individual just to clarify it. Uplifting limits, or maybe you just want to lure in people to take the money like any other guru. Mate, I don't know what you're doing here, to be honest. I never ask anyone to send me money. Never. I never say to any of the guys, I'll trade for you, send me your money. Never. Not once. And my group, mate, it's $1 a day. It's pretty much the same price as a freaking bloody streaming service, so it's hardly making a big difference in regards to, you know, making me financially free. If that's what you think I'm doing, because it's not. I deserve to be, you know, given a little bit of a kickback for my time that I give to my team. They'll vouch for it. I'm on a call 5 days a week after the stream for either MY, pre-MY, a market update, education session, and every second Sunday for a sim session. So if that doesn't, you know, warrant $30 a month, then what does? What does? I used to pay a lot more. I paid $250 a month initially. Then I paid about $50 a month. I've learned a lot in that group, but still a lot more. I give a lot more value than what I got out of any of those groups. A lot more. Are we looking for shorts? Potentially from this level. If we do reject, yes, we could potentially look for shorts. All right, GJ's confirmed a structure flip here on a 30. So wait and see on GJ, but gold, we need it to close above or reject. Raj, maybe, yes. Marco, appreciate your honesty. Thank you so much. Are you? Yeah, Melbourne, Matt. But don't asking questions. Not at all. You ask any of the guys. Not at all. I encourage it. I actually mentioned it to, I'm sure Chris won't mind me mentioning his name. He's in the TikTok chat often. I mentioned to him because he sends me questions all the time. I said, I wish the others would do the same. Because you're getting feedback. It's the only way to learn. It's the only way to know. If you want to learn how I go about it, and you want to make it work for you, the only way to make it work for you is to question things. T, thank you once again for the rose. All right. Carl, how someone can question you is crazy. Yeah, it's all good, man. You're always going to cop it, so it's all good. I'm used to it, I don't mind it anymore. Marco, just block. Yeah, I can always do that. Here we go. I'll uplift your limits. Yeah, I figured, why do you have to need self-services if you're so profitable trade? Yeah, again, it's not a need. It's just I deserve to be, you know, compensated ever so slightly for the time I give. That's all. Because if I do that, then I'm committed to being on a certain amount of times a week with my team away from it. And that's how I roll. That's how I've chosen to go about it. Whether, you know, you like it or not. Again, for $30 a month, it's not exactly breaking the bank. And I never force anyone. I never say, you know, you must join, or I don't call myself a guru. I'm not a guru. I'm just competent in what I do. I understand what I do, the way I trade. A guru knows everything. You ask me about fair value gaps, I have no idea. I don't trade them. People ask me about them every single stream. So in that sense, I'm not a guru. I don't claim to be a guru, but I am good at the way I trade and what I do. And if I can help people to become profitable, trading the way I trade, I'm more than happy to help them out. That's what I do. Say, this is gold, yes. Kim's out. Sometimes after open price breaks and shoots up or down, what would you look for to take an impulse? Again, it all comes down to the level for me. It's got nothing to do with the pure price action if it's not at a reasonable level for me to get involved in a trade. So if that's the case, and we are, for instance, approaching this resistance, and we had approached from just a little bit below it, not so far below it here, then often what I would do is, and I really love this sort of scenario when it plays out, is if this happens. You often hear me talk about on stream. So let's just say this candle closed maybe just there, and then a new candle pops straight up, like you mentioned. Then so it's got no low wick. Then it pops down. It's great low wick. And I'm thinking and saying to myself, right, at that point there, we've broken the high of the day. With prior to it not create a low wick. So seeing it pop straight up, perhaps we'll grab liquidity from the upside in order to push back down and head back down towards the support back at the other end. So therefore, if I have to put a buy stop above the high of the candle that pops straight up, breaking above the resistance, I'm not worried about it if it's pulling back, because I'm not triggered in, and it's either going to do one or two things. It's either going to continue bearish and we end up back below and there's no drama, I'm not in the trade, I remove the buy stop, or what it's going to do is begin to flip, grab liquidity from the downside, break above the high. So break above that point, you're triggered into the trade, and what it's likely to have done on creating low wick is grab liquidity from the downside in order to make the move up into the clean traffic here to the left. So that's the type of thing I would look for. But the minute we're still don't have that type of confirmation, so again, we've got to wait and see. We may have a 15-minute closure above. Carl, one of the most genuine people on YouTube, showing his trades and giving free knowledge, and yet people still doubt. Yeah, I know, mate. It is what it is. If creating an AI model and only take losing trades, or give me money to try. Well, that's it, and that's the other thing. I'm doing it live. I mean, most of you just see bloody content of, you know, how I made $1 million in 5 seconds, but you don't see the video about how I lost $2 million in 5 seconds. I do it live. I always say, if it doesn't have to be me, but I would only join any group of someone who trades live, because prior to it, you can decide for yourself if you like the way they trade. And if you want to know more about it, you can choose to maybe join the group. We're not some of these bullshit characters that just post, you know, profits and that's it. All my trades are documented, every single trade, either live on stream here, or in a trade ideas section of the members group, or on a live members only call. Every single trade. I don't trade away from it at all. Jai, what's your call? Is it time short? No, definitely not time to short. Could be almost time to buy. Marco, all good. Zoo and Ollie, thank you for the sticker as well. One P&L this week. It's not much. I'm in very little profit for the week. I've had 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 break even. The win on stream, that was a pretty nice win, to be honest. Loss was taken pre-NY with the members on Tuesday, I think it was. Tuesday and Wednesday, and yesterday was break even on stream. The loss I managed very well. And that's it, nothing else so far. But if you're asking me about the month's been, again, a cracking month, a really good month. Another month of just consistency. Trading the rules, trading the plan, not deviating from it. Sync trading effects, good day to you. God bless. So looking at potential buys in just under 5 minutes. Tom Middleton, 95. MC5 doesn't allow it to place buy orders above current price. It's possible trading MC5. Why is that? Never heard of that, to be honest. That's yeah, I have no idea what that's about. Isn't that futures trading? Sometimes I think that. Not too sure, but no, mine's fine. I've got no issue. Well, at least I don't think I do. Demong, bro, what tickers do you trade? Mainly gold, to be honest. XAU, USD. Look at GJ as well. So Great British Pound, Japanese yen. All right, so we want to see the closure above here in just over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes from now. If we get it, we could have it buy soon on gold. Breaking above the current daily counter, the resistance. So what I want to see is a nice strong closure. Tom, okay, but do you place the orders through TradingView? No, MetaTrader. MetaTrader 5. So in Foley, MetaTrader 5 is an application aligned to a broker where we trade. Yep. Through the broker. Guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds before I have an accident in my seat. 2 seconds. All right, that was as quick as I can go. What is the upper grey resistance? Laser Ninja. The blue resistance. 33, 43, 31. All right, let's focus. All right, so the buy above will be above the current candle's high, likely. So what I would suggest is on your broker, determine what the highest point of that candle is, and you're waiting for new candle to create a significant lower wick, a decent lower wick, and we could look for potential buys above the candle's high, maybe about a pip and a half, 2 pips above. I would go 2 pips above. It has to close strong. It cannot pull back in the last 50 seconds though. So the high here is 33, 43, 92. So I'll be looking at 33, 44, 12 roughly. We need a low wick on the new candle. Now the current stop loss, you're looking at about 45 pips, roughly 40, 44. We need a bit of a low wick though, because it did similar yesterday, guys. If you remember, popped up. And then it shut the bed. It sank after it sunk. And it just grabbed liquidity. But eventually, you know, throughout the day, it made its way back up. Oh, it's closed right at the high. All right, we need lower wick. So what I'd love to see is the same answer as what I gave before, where price actually pops up and even breaks the high. I'm not set the order just yet, guys. I want it to create more of a lower wick. Perfect. If it breaks the high, then I'm waiting for it to pop back down, tap back into this level, and then I will set buy stop back above the highest point, whether it be the current candle or the previous candle's high. At the moment, it's still just the previous candle's high. So I've not set the order. I'll let you know as soon as I do set it. It's not yet created a lower wick. All right, looks like it's about to break the high. Still not set it, guys. I want it to pull back to create a lower wick. And if it doesn't, no stress, because we still could have the option based on the 30-minute time frame. Very simple. Again, just following the rules. That's all I'm doing. All right, it's popping up and need it to pull back now. Let's see. So new entry will have to be above the current candle's high. But there's a reason for it, because time and time again, it will pull back, create low wick, and then you're stuck in significant drawdown. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it's going to go without you. But I'm prepared to miss it if that's the case. Not worried. Marco, thank you again for the sticker, mate. All right, so it looks like we're trying to pull back. Not yet created a low wick though, but we're waiting to see if it does so. Sorry, G. I can't remember what to call you. Again, I remember you gave me a name to call you, but apologies, mate. You've been Bitcoin Tuesday. Nice one. You're well in profit. Good work, mate. Nice on the wave. Well, the way I trade, yeah, I know how to trade. The way others trade, no. Fair value gaps and all that, no, I have no idea. But the way I trade, I know exactly what I want to see. Again, if it goes now, it goes. There is no FOMO whatsoever. I just go up the time frame to the 30. And I'll wait for maybe a buy limit on that time frame. Had it pull back in 1 minute. Yeah, but it's not created a low wick. Still got no low wick. So that was the open of the candle itself. Once again, if it's got no low wick, there is no entry for me. Mauricio, yeah, it's broken, but again, no low wick. So right now I'm sitting back, chilling, not stuck in any drawdown, because if I was in a trade, I would have been now probably not feeling great about it, would have been back in drawdown, or at least out at break even, if anything, nothing else. Marco, what I prefer to pull back, because if you look through to the left here, 90+% of these candles will have wicks, easily distinguishable wicks in our direction. So there'd be always that slight concern that this candle could tag you into the trade if you placed an order just above that previous candle's high. And seeing it doesn't really have much of a lower wick, it could pull back to create more of a lower wick, and then you're stuck in drawdown when you can quite easily avoid that. So yes, sometimes it means I'll miss the trade. It could just pop up now, and I'm fully aware of it, but that's fine. But there's also a good chance it could pull back to create that lower wick, and I'm not worried. I'm not stuck in drawdown. So I'm just trading with probabilities that I know of greater probability anyway than I just impulsively jump in out of fear of missing the move. And I know if it doesn't do what I want it to do, and if it draws close to the closure of the M30, then I've got an option based on the 30-minute candle, which is even stronger. We'll look for the buys above, or potentially a limit order buy as well here on the 30, if it closes significantly enough above the resistance. Bjorn, so yeah, so there you go. Pretty much just explained it. Shelby Leanne, how did you learn everything as a beginner? To be honest, just like you guys, jumped on YouTube. TikTok wasn't really a big thing back then. I don't even know if it was around back when I started. Don't think it was. Did some research online, discovered a few websites, discovered a mentor who siphoned $250 a month out of me for about 15 months and got absolutely nothing in return. That was a scam, and I was stupid enough to fall for it at the time because, again, they promised big things. Big things. They included signals, and I was new at the time, so I thought, all right, that's the best way to go about it. Did not work at all, got wrecked. And then it was just a matter of, you know, learning what suits me, what, you know, in like my character. So I started out swing trading and it didn't suit me. And I discovered scalping, and that's far better for me. And I enjoy it a lot more. Feel like I have more control over it, even though you never have control over the markets. And now, just over the 8 years, I've come up with my own plan that works for me, and I follow my rules, and that's it. Don't care what anyone else does. Right now on gold again. Likely option now will be a limit order buy. Not quite got the 5-minute retest. All right. So throughout all this, guys, I still wouldn't have secured any profit. I probably would have been out already at break even if I took the entry without the low wick. Marco, all good. Disco Jami, 45-minute order block. Alright, interesting. Fair enough. Charlotte Ann, looking for a sell if it pulls back. Yeah, fair enough, and pulls back below the resistance. So at this stage, I'm looking for now the 30-minute either limit order buy. I'll let you guys know if that will be valid closer to the closure of the candle, or potential continuation buy. We've still got clean traffic to the left, and we have now what appears to be a decent catalyst. Originals vids, do you need a bigger balance with scalping? No. You can use the same balance. Just, to be honest, just means you, as a scalper, you're taking bigger position sizes, because you don't have as wide of a stop loss. You're managing the trade a lot quicker. And you guys see, sometimes I'm in and out in seconds. DGR8. Would you say scalping is good for a trader? If yes, why? For me, it is, but it all depends on the individual and their type of character they are. I found swing trading affected, well, my emotions affected my trades too much, because I see my trades in profit, check it, you know, throughout the day, be back at break even, or for instance, go to bed, be in some decent profit, come back and be in a bit of drawdown, couldn't sleep at night. Just, it used to play my mind. Even though it was a longer term position, I still couldn't control my emotions. If I saw profits, I wanted to take profit off the table. I cut it short and wouldn't do that in drawdown, so just wasn't working for me. So what suited me was scalping, being in and out of trades quick, using some, you know, some rules and a particular strategy that works for me, and it's more suitable for me. But it's not for everyone. I've known guys who started scalping and gone to swing trading. I've known guys who started swing trading, went scalping, went back to swing trading. But for me, I've not gone back to swing trading. Thought about sometimes incorporating a little bit of a longer term hold, but the longest I tend to go is holding a position for a few hours these days, to be honest, max. A.C.T, that's a thing when learning. You have to listen to yourself. You definitely need to. Your emotions and take note of it and that type of thing as well. Charlan needs to control your emotions, never revenge trade. Yep, that's for sure, that's true. Easier said than done. Still occasionally, you know, the dreaded emotions appear in the FOMO. Do I prefer commodities randomized? No. Oh, actually, yeah, well, gold. Prefer trading gold, but that's all I trade as far as in respect to that type of thing, commodities and metals. Ryan, where would you put order limit? Limit order would be at the high of the bearish candle. That needs to close with the current volume and probably need to close about 15 pips above pretty much the current level. The rule is 10 pips above, but with the volume right now, these candles have big bodies behind them. I want it to be clearly closing above that resistance. Otherwise, I'd probably look for a buy stop on continuation above the catalyst candles high. The buy limit will give you a better stop loss, and you get the entry at a slightly discounted price, obviously, but you're taking the entry with price moving against the direction that you want it to go in. That's a little bit of a risk. But that is likely what I'll be looking for on the following candle is a buy limit. Ask mood 3,500, I think you mean. I think eventually it will. Official Rick, not always. No, a lot of time will be the continuation. So let it retest and then buying it as it breaks above. And we do have the momentum behind us right now, guys. So that could be still the option. I would look for the limit order buy. And that will be at 33.43.26. But I may also still look for a continuation buy. So for the continuation buy, what you want to see is price create decent low wick and then buy stop the high, a couple pips above. So we got just under 2 minutes. All good. 33.50, really strong resistance. Yeah, I've got plenty of margin load to secure some profit in between. How do I identify support resistance? Well, it's based on the highest point of any bearish candle is the resistance. And I just connect it to the closest body. In this case, it's the same candle. What you often find is price will tap in, reject those levels. This is the 30-minute and minor time frame zone, so price is more likely to push through it if it is to make a move through, if that makes sense. Whereas on the 4-hour, it's more likely to be met with a bit of a rejection. So the 4-hour, the gray zones. But anyway, let's focus, guys. Let's focus. Charlan, no bond wick in a second and 15, could pull back. Yeah, well, that's why I didn't take this continuation buy on the 15. It needs to leave an upper wick too, by the way, guys. If it has no upper wick, there is no entry. Because often what's followed by a candle that doesn't leave a wick is the next candle tends to close quite strongly up opposite direction. I showed that yesterday on stream. All right, so 30 seconds, guys. Let's see. Now, if you're looking for the continuation buy, again, needs to leave an upper wick, and we want to look for an entry after it creates a bit of a lower wick, a couple pips above the catalyst high. Otherwise, limit orders. Back at the high of this bearish candle. Look like they're going to be valid. So the high here is 33.46.40, so 33.46. 60. It needs a lower wick. Cannot enter without it. Well, I'm not anyway. Does not have the lower wick. 33, 46, 20. All right, so set a limit order, but if it breaks the high of the previous count, limit order becomes invalid. All right, if that's the case and creates a decent lower wick, I'm going to look for a buy stop back above the high of this candle. So obviously not in yet. I've got limit order set at 26, 30, 33, 43, 26. Stop loss just back below the M30. Trader E made 10k today. What up? Negate. You're waiting for liquidity sweep? No, not necessarily. Waiting for price to perhaps grab liquidity from the downside in order to head back up. All right, so it looks like we're flipping bearish here. We could now look for a continuation buy. Not much of a low wick though, shit. Yeah, we want to have more of a low wick before looking for the continuation buy. Well, you could be in a buy just now, but to be honest, I'd rather more of a low wick. Again, it's just off experience. It could pull back to create more of a low wick. So you best, still in my opinion, best to let it do that. Best to let it pull back, create more of a low wick, and then just buy stop the high. There we go. Look at that. That's why. Still not creating much of a low wick, so it's best to let it do so. And then it's starting to look better now because we've spent the best part of 3 minutes or so of the new M30 mucking about. Looked like we're about to break. Now we've obviously pulled back further. So you'd be looking at potential pull back a little bit more. What's the stop loss now? It's starting to look better though above the high. So what would the entry be? I cannot see the highest point on this bloody candle. This is looking much better, guys. All right, so buy stop the high is what I'm looking at. So around 33, 46, 47. 33, 36, 47. I'm going to place a buy stop. And there's ways to manage the trade too. So the limit order, I keep it in for the time being, but if it begins to flip again, I'm going to remove it. So what did I say? 47. 36, 46, 47. They're your two options. Dom, straight up to 33.53 and big sells down. Guessing? Okay. You're entitled to your opinion. Ice and wave, it will literally hit stop loss. Please, you can't buy now. All good. You do what you want to do. Not pressuring anyone into buying anything. I'm just doing me. That's all I'm doing. So let's see. Not in just yet. Not being triggered in. Add. Yeah, I'm looking at a buy. So I'm not in just yet. I'm likely going to remove the limit order just now. So I've removed the limit order. Very close to being triggered in to the buy stop.
If we get triggered in, are you putting your SL below this candle straight away, or would you leave it a bit?
I begin to manage it, but for the time being, I'm leaving it.
Okay.
All right. Push a little bit higher. Yeah, I'm going to start managing stop loss. So just below the entry candle. Oops. Stop loss is at 68 at the minute. So this goes into the journal. Win, lose, or draw. Harry, targeting, so I'll be looking to secure some profit probably about once it gets to over 10 pips. If it does. Yeah, I'm in. Struggling around the 4.5, 5 pip mark. He's pulling back. TP 33.55. I mean, that'd be probably a decent target. You got some clean traffic to the left, but again, I secure in between. I manage trades in drawdown. Already begun to manage my stop loss here. I take profits. I'm not greedy, and I let runners go as well for a bit. So, wow, a bit of volatility at the minute, popping about into profit, back in a bit of drawdown. Let's see. Yeah, it's struggling a lot this level. Still around the entry, so we'll see. Stop loss is now 33, 44, 60, 68. Harry, possibly. It looks like it won't in a minute, but again, it's just I'm following my plan. I'm not going to let any of you guys convince me otherwise, so it is what it is. If I was to follow what you guys tell me, what someone from the chat tells me, how many times has it gone the way I've chosen to go? If you watch regularly, so I don't deviate from my plan. I respect your opinion, And yes, it could go against me. It looks like it might in a minute, but I'm not going to let you influence the way I trade, because that would just be me not following my plan. And I would be pissed off if it went my way and I took it because someone on TikTok in the chat told me not to trade it. So it is what it is. I had about 5.5 pip profit and it's retracing, so all good. Got a way of managing it. Good look at GJ. Now I'm not going to let anyone influence my decision. Win, lose, or draw. Anthony, patience. Yep. So you could definitely begin to maybe cut partials here. Yeah, so I closed half just after it flipped and looks like it could take me out. So closed half at roughly minus 11. Could be a little bit less, a little bit more. But we'll see. Already managed to trade. The original stop loss is a lot wider than that. And we'll see what the rest does. Gotta be strict with your trade management, guys. Just my next key, you put a buy stop. Yeah, sorry, that was probably sent in a while ago. You stick to your plan and do your thing. Thank you, mate. You're one of the realest in the game. Appreciate it. Can you explain why you decided to enter right there? Because we had a price action catalyst on off the back of the 30, closed above the resistance formed at the daily high. So for me, it was enough. There was enough momentum in that candle to suggest that if we broke above it, there's a good chance we could continue to the upside. We also spent a fair part of it. First of all, creating the upper wick, only to eventually then pull back to create lower wick, and that was enough of a signal to suggest to me that if we were to begin to flip and break our own high, that perhaps that pullback within the current candle was doing so to grab some more liquidity from the downside in order to make the move up. So that's why I took the trade. And again, I'm just following my plan. Win, lose, or draw. I've already managed it. The original stop loss was here, below the previous 15. Now I managed it to 68. And I've just cut half the position in some drawdown as well. So I always manage my trades. Now it seems like an odd place then. So again, I'm just following my rules. Chili Kid Romez, all good, not a problem. Taking a while, that's for sure. Again, I'm accepting off the risk, and we'll see. If I took payouts, mate. Well, from my live account, of course. PayPal, you get payouts very, very quickly through my broker if you get paid out through PayPal. You need to deposit through PayPal though. So let's see here. Struggling back around the entry, keeps getting squashed back down as soon as it gets back to entry. About to close the M15. Yeah, the one concern is the new M15 could create low wick, potentially tag me out and then maybe flip. But anyway, it's how I've gone about choosing to manage the trade, and it is what it is. Yes, it is regulate 1 of 30 as per the ASIC regulations. Abdul Rahman, maybe for you. Again, I'm in a buy, going against me at the minute, but all good. How much did you invest into this one, Christy? Roughly percent would be about close to 2% for this trade. I'm not going to take 2% loss on it, that's for sure. Because I've already gone about managing it. All right, so it's creating its lower wick now. So this is where I need it to hold up quickly, not create too much of a lower wick. CISO, buy. I'm stuck in a buy. Predictions or dreams? It is at the minute. Since breaking, it's definitely slowed down. Cookie, I don't use indicators. Next, what pair is this? This is gold. Really needs to break that previous count high because the momentum seems to be dying off here in the 15. Starting to break. So I'm not managing it any further at the minute. Indicators lag, they only indicate what's happened. Exactly, that's why I don't use them. But I mean, some people use them to their advantage, but for me, there is no advantage of using them. Pepe, price action. Again, based off some different time frames and certain levels. Trying, but just struggling at the same level each time. All right, so now I'm going to adjust stop loss to just below the current candle. And if it flips back, it's a small loss, if anything. So I've already begun to trail the stop. So it's all about trade management too, guys. That keeps you in the game. I have rules for that, very strict rules. Baby meow, bit in a buy already. Yeah, so it's back in a little bit of drawdown. Looks like I could now possibly get taken out. Tried, but could be a small loss in this one, which is all good. Stop loss is at 59 to be exact. Yeah, not enough to secure any profit. But again, if you remember, guys, I started with a stop loss of roughly 35, 36 pips. I cut half at about 11, and I'm about to be just taken out. So there you go. The rest at about 9.5, 10. So it is what it is. I'm happy with that. Happy with the trade management. Very small, insignificant loss in the end. And we'll see what happens moving forward. So just following my plan. GJ at the support. So all good. Small loss is better than big loss. 100%. Always go about managing my trades. Always back myself. And I always have, rules for when price is in profit and when price is in drawdown. And I just, again, trade accordingly. Susu, wait for a sell, maybe. Triple S, would you go long on that? Well, it looks like it could be running out of momentum at the minute. 30-minute is struggling as well. Darken, because again, it was off the back of the momentum of this candle here. It suggests to me we've broken through the daily high and broken significantly above it. So I decided to take the buy off the back of that. All good. We are trending bullish as well. We did have 30-minute structure to the upside. We've also got daily counter probabilities to the upside. So it's just off the back of that. But again, you're never going to win 100% of the time. So it is what it is. I'm not stressed. I'm not fast. you're allowed to have a loss. There's no, at least I show it live, guys. I don't, you know, hide behind it. Loss is a loss. It was a very well managed loss. So in the end, I'm happy with the way I went about it. Gold trader. What was the entry again? 33, 46, 46, I'm pretty sure it was. So it could flip again and go now. But again, it's just the way I go about managing it. And I'm happy with the way I manage the trade. So if it goes now, it goes now. Nothing I can do. Dargan, but it's in imbalance counts. Correct. Mate, again, I don't trade fair value gaps. I don't trade imbalances. It's pure price action. Not everyone has to trade fair value gaps and imbalances in that. Triple S, you only normally have 3 to 5 green or red candles. I'm not sure what you mean by that, to be honest. Bjorn, nice play, learn a lot. Got a break even, nice one. Well done, got break even. Yeah, the most profit I had on the table was about 7.5 pips or something, 8 pips. So it is what it is. Gee, thank you for the sticker, by the way. Gold sniper. Yeah. Tommy, more to you. Franco, thank you. Yeah, just next here, not moving at the minute. Trade market, bro. Don't you think it's overextended? Yeah, I mean, you could say anything. It could be. But again, I'm just following my plan. That's all. That's all I was doing, following my plan. Perhaps I should have waited for it to pull back and retest that zone. But it is what it is. The decision I took was to buy it because this candle flipped to create slow wick and then take the buy as it broke its own high again. Going off price action that I know would regularly work. I'm just following my plan. I mean, after the fact, it's easy to say. It's always easy to say. That's it. So, yes, maybe after the fact, it was overextended. But, again, I'm just following my plan. That's all I'm doing, guys. JD, again, that's your opinion. All good. Again, I'm just following my plan. G, still in? Okay, nice one. Again, because this is what works for me. I take small losses. And then I don't need to, you know, to hold for a massive win. I can secure it 15, 20 pips if I want, and it'll cover a loss easily. Chile Kid Ramirez. Yes, that was the weak and low in your opinion, potentially. So look at it now. It could make the move, but again, I'm more than happy about the way I've gone about managing it. If I'm to stress about it, get emotional about it, then you're never ever going to make it as a trader, because you need to back your decisions. You need to be comfortable with your decisions. You need to be comfortable with the risk and the way you go about managing it. And I am completely at ease with it. You're allowed to have a loss. It's nothing wrong taking a loss. Even if you're taking a full loss, if that's your plan, it's okay. As long as you know your edge is going to work for you the majority of the time. Pepe, what would you recommend for me starting trading? I still don't feel comfortable investing money. So if you're not, then don't invest live capital. Trade a demo to begin, learn the craft, determine what type of trading resonates with you, whether it be scalping, longer term trading, swing trading, that type of thing. Also, there are so many different ways that you can skin a cat. I trade pure price action. Others trade fair value gaps and imbalances. And I respect it, but it's just not me. It's not what works for me. So you need to decide what will work for you and then focus on it. And what you need to do is give it at least a few months. Too many people will jump on something for a month. Fuck, it doesn't work. Excuse my language. And it's true. I have guys that join my group for a month. I'm not sure what they're expecting from it. I never hear a word from them. I encourage them to ask me questions. I never hear a word from them. And I understand some people are busy, and maybe some join, it's not for them. Maybe some join thinking it's a signal service, which I always say it's not. And that's it. Like, I'm not sure what you can expect to learn in a month, to be honest. You need to give it time. Can I buy now? Not for me. Chile, thanks bro, appreciate it. Hold on, is it buying if it breaks 33.47? Well, it's struggling to break that level. JD, same as scalp 20 pip out of pre-London. Nice one. When did I start my journey? Started back in 2017. Charlie, keep it spreadsheet of trades. Yep, I keep it here. Where is it? My trade journal. It's got a video of the trade, what happened. And the result and all how it went about managing it, why I took it, the confluences, the reasons. And description, then a video. Video goes for about minute and a half to 2 minutes for the most part. Chili. Nice. Yep. Thank you, mate. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think that's about a wrap. GJ. I like the fact that it's forming support, previous support here to the left, because seeing it is triggering buyers, then there is no need for it to now begin to pop below the support again. And if the following candle does so, and in golfs, for instance, it could be an option to sell off the back of that down to the next level, but you might not have the margin. That's the thing. For buyers here on GJ, I still would not be considering it at this point until back above 198, 150 roughly. Back above the 4-hour support as well, if that's the case. Above that point, you got a bit of margin. Above this resistance, you're going to retest the support it's broken during a stream. I'd rather just wait for it to pop up towards that 198, 150 and see if it closes above or if it rejects for a sell. Gold moving forward. Lots of tricky ones into some clean traffic, but it's just exhausting at the minute. It could still make the move, but otherwise, for me, what I'd be waiting for is now the retest. Let it form some support and then look for a buy up. That is, in my opinion, the best play. The only other thing I would consider is if the little interruption play potentially presents. So if, for instance, this candle closes bearish and the following M15 closes a very, very strong bullish candle, not bearish. And that would suggest the momentum, the volume's back in, and I would consider a buy stop at the high of that bearish candle if your stop loss back below it. That is pretty much all I would consider if it was to continue bullish without retesting. And aside from that, that's about it. Let it pull back into the resistance, form support, and if it starts popping back below 33.40, possibly sells. But that's it. Small loss, well managed loss, and that ends today's proceedings. Thank you to all the new followers. Thank you to everyone who's liked the stream. I will be on tomorrow from about 30 minutes prior to London Open. And take care to everyone. Thank you again for all the support. YouTube, not YouTube, sorry. My guys, I'll be on a little bit later on for a quick update, live update. We'll see what charts look like. Till then, you guys take care.
Thanks, Justin.
Cheers, mate. And to TikTok, YouTube, once again, thank you for your support. I'll catch you guys soon. YouTube, stick around for a second. Let me know what you think of the ending stream. Screen. That's new. Alright guys, take care. TikTok. Cheers guys. See you tomorrow.